Welcome to a Sunday evening rant. With me in my front room again. I will get back to recording these in the studio, but there's just lots of stuff going on and it's easier to do them here. The other thing I'm having problems with at the moment is the editing software on the Mac. So unfortunately I've recorded a whole raft of stuff in the last few weeks, but it's just taking time to sort of process it through on the Macintosh and post it up onto YouTube. So I apologise for that, but there will be more content coming on a more regular basis when I can solve the problem of my Mac. It needs to go back to Apple, and Apple will do their magic on it like they did last time round. I think I know what's wrong with it. I just need them to confirm what's wrong with it, and then we can get on with it. C'est la vie. And I'm also having a bad hair day today. So my hair, for whatever reason, will not stay where it's meant to be up there. It keeps coming down here, and it's driving me nuts. Smile, you're on TV. Anyway, so what am I going to talk about? I'm actually going to talk about these two things that are sitting here. And I've got my trusty props out, so it's all set up and ready to go. So, as many know, I purchased these before Christmas, and I wasn't really a fan of the Boutique range, but I am becoming more of a fan of the Boutique range. I do love what they can actually do as keyboards or as modules. I'm not in love with the way that they actually hook into the studio system. Let's leave it at that, shall we? This one's got something dirty on it. It's been sitting, I've been playing with it here actually, this one. Anyway, when I bought the first two modules, module one came, which was, let's call it this one. I don't know what's on this, I've got it covered in something. I need to get the cloth out. Anyway, module one came like this. Okay, so this is how it came out of the box. It came out of the box with this little case around it. And what you do is you press the little button on the back, and as you raise it, there's a couple of little plastic flaps in there that flick up and present that to you sort of roughly about the right angle if you're playing, for you to be able to see what's going on. Okay, I don't like things that are flat. You know, I'm sorry, it's just the way I work. I don't like things that are flat. I like to be able to glance at them, and I tend to find things that are actually flat on the deck, you can't just glance at it, you have to look at it, whereas something that's angled at an angle, you more can glance at it. You don't have to take your eyes off what you're doing. So that's why I prefer personal preference. Everyone, each person to their own. Anyway, go back to the TR8. So there's that little stand. The thing pops down, stand closes. It's quite a nice little unit from that perspective. Job done. So when I bought the other one, a DO5 is in the studio at the moment. So I've got the JX03 that is here. This doesn't come with a stand. Okay, it comes out of the box looking like that, which is sort of a bit awkward when you wonder what this lip for. Well, the lip is actually for attaching this to the little Diddy keyboard that they actually sell separately for this thing. And I sort of did think about buying the little Diddy keyboard for it. And I have to be honest and say, it's one of the silly things. I sort of couldn't justify to myself why I would want it. I've got the hiccups. So I didn't buy it. Simple as that. But what that does is it actually sort of gives you the keyboard on the front, this thing on the back, and it actually allows you to flip this up, much the same as this thing does. Okay. So what I did do is I went away and I did some research, and on the interweb I came up with these things. And these brackets, if you sort of look, each one has a different tab on it, tabs at different sides. And what they do is they sort of correspond with the little indentations here and here, and this little tab here. So that's the wrong one, that's the right one for that side. So I did it around the right way around the first time round. Yeah. So that goes in like so, and on they go, and then the other one goes the other end like so. All well and good. Now, what happens is you put that on the deck, and it's about the right height, and the angle's about right. All well and good. Problem is, as soon as you lift it off the deck, it's not going to do it to Q now, are they? But what's been happening, what's been driving me nuts is bracket falls off. And that one worked. And that's been driving me nuts because every time I lift it up to move it somewhere, the brackets fall off. And then I have to go scurrying around on the floor to find the brackets to put them back on. You get the drift, okay? So it was driving me nuts. So I was looking around for some more solutions. Anyway. Roland sell this thing. The Boutique dock. And how rare this is, bad hair, how rare this is I ended up having to buy this from Germany because I couldn't buy it in the UK. Nobody in the UK seems to stock this thing. So I ended up going to a company in Germany who very nicely, after having to go and order it into stock themselves, shipped it to me. So not only did I have to pay currency charges, I also had to pay shipping charges from Germany. Right, so it hasn't even been opened. I've just broken the seal on the box. So this is a first. So we open the box up. What do we find? We find another box. This one's got a very nice Roland Boutique sign on it. I might keep that. I don't know where I'm going to put it though. Anyway, I bought two of these. Right, one for. It doesn't fit in there either. One for the XO3 and one for the DO5. Unfortunately, I've also got I got the JP unit coming as well. That wasn't. Again, that was another one of those. It wasn't thought about. It just sort of happened. And there's a long story behind that, which I'm not going to go into today. I might go into in the future and tell you the long story about why I'm getting the JP unit. Anyway, it's all stuck together with very sticky tape. Right, that's the plastic bag gone. And as you can see, there's the unit. It's all sellotaped again, more sellotape in this thing, which is very sticky. Very, very sticky. It says on here, in my very bestest Japanese, take care so not to trap fingers pinched. Okay, fair enough. So there's the stand, and if I take this thing here, so there's a lug on one side, and that fits into that thing there, like so. And then what there is a spring-loaded piece here. There it is, which you can't really see. I'm trying to do that to camera and it's not going to work, is it? Right. Right. So I've just done it now, and that then clicks into the other lug. So this is attached to that. And then what you do is you close it down, you open it up, like so, and there you go. A spring loaded. Now, great advantage over this is if I lift it up and I put it down, the stand doesn't fall off. However, methinks this is a quite expensive way of doing this. Now, I've bought these because the stand, and again, you know, as I said earlier on, every time they fell off, they sort of like went on the floor, and then I went scurrying around for it, and I used my toes to pick that one up. It was a better solution than this. Now, there are people on the market who are making these stands out of wood, and they look really actually quite nice. And one of the ones I was looking at actually was a 3 unit, so the first unit's like that, second unit's like that, third unit's like that. and it sort of does that sort of arcing thing. And that looked quite nice actually. I did think about buying that, and then I thought to myself, well, I don't have these out all the time. These are not going to be permanently on a surface. They're going to go away. And what I have in the studio is I have a shelf in one of the rack units which pulls out, and these slide into said shelf, which just puts them away and protects them from dust. Of course, they don't get protected from dust when they're here. So I, before I came on camera, I gave them a quick sort of dust with the duster, just so they didn't look completely dusty. But this one, of course, does look a bit dusty. So I did think about that, but I've gone for these anyway. However, Roland, again, I think this is I think it's a marketing issue. I think when somebody went and bought a boutique series piece of equipment, you should have included this stand bit with it for free rather than charging people to go and buy it. Because not only does it protect the unit, because it does actually protect the unit as well by putting the side and bottom onto the unit itself, a lot of people are going to have the same issue I have, which is standing it up. As I said, I don't like things flat on a surface. I like things angled to me, so that it's easier for me to look. It's sort of more that movement rather than that movement when I'm playing. So that's me. I mean, people playing live might have a different view of these things, but personally, if I'm playing live or I'm standing up at a keyboard, I like to just be able to glance down rather than have to look down. So we are where we are. That was really all I wanted to say this week. Not a lot going on. Some might say a bit boring actually. To be honest, it is a bit boring at the moment, but I've got a lot going on in the other side of my life, which I keep alluding to, and one day I will get around to saying what it's all about. But that is really driving me nuts. I know what I was going to say. The last thing I was going to say. So, in the box, I've just noticed there are some instructions. Why you would need instructions for that, I'm not sure. But there are instructions, so let's open the bag of instructions, which again is well sealed. Put those on the floor for the moment. I've got more tape on my fingers. So, this is going to be... Oh, you are kidding me, aren't you? That's got to be the simplest thing to set up, and Roland will give you a massive amount of instructions to attach that stand to a boutique. Some of me sort of says, I wish you'd actually spent that much time putting that sort of clear instruction against the actual boutique unit in the first place. And on that note, I'm going to give you farewell. I'll see you next time. Bye-bye. So this is the point in the video where I turn around to you and say, if you enjoyed the contents of this video, please give it a thumbs up. It allows other people to find this content more easily that you have enjoyed. I'm sure by now, if you didn't like the content of the video, you've probably given me a thumbs down, but I'd prefer if you didn't. If you'd like to be notified about when I post additional content to this channel, somewhere about here should be the subscription icon. So please click on there and subscribe to the channel. Over here should be other content that you may enjoy that I've already done or posted to the channel. Thanks for watching, and I hope to see you again.